What should someone do if he does not perform fasting at its time? Stay with us till the end of this video to find the answer to this question. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Imam HUSAIN online seminary. Here we are again with Sheikh Rohani, and inshallah we're going to answer this very important question. Assalamu alaikum Sheikh, and welcome to our today's program.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I hope that our today's discussion inshallah will be useful and helpful for our brothers and sisters.
Inshallah. Thank you so much Sheikh. The very important question that today inshallah we're going to answer, and our brothers and sisters have asked this question, is this: that if someone does not perform fasting at its exact timing, like during the days of the holy month of Ramadan, so what should he do after the holy month of Ramadan?
To answer this question, we should know that we have two types of fasting. One is the Ada fasting, the fasting that we perform in the holy month of Ramadan in its exact time, as you rightly mentioned. And the second type is Qada fasting. Qada fasting is like a kind of compensatory fasting that we do it and perform it after the holy month of Ramadan. But the point is that
for the Ada fasting.
Yeah, because if someone break his fasting in the holy month of Ramadan, he has to perform Qada fasting. So, but the point is that sometimes we have only Qada fasting, that he has to perform only fasting after the holy month of Ramadan. But sometimes he has to perform fasting. In addition to fasting, he has to pay kafara. So we have to distinguish between these two types of Qada. Sometimes Qada is without kafara, but sometimes it is with kafara.
So what do we mean by kafara?
Kafara is like a punishment or expiation that someone has to pay if he breaks his fasting in the holy month of Ramadan.
Beside performing the Qadha fasting?
Yes, of course. To pay kafara, you have actually three options.
Three options?
The first one is freeing a slave.
Freeing a slave, good.
The second option is to feed 60 poor persons in a way that they would be satisfied. The third option is to fast 2 months successively, not the all 60 days. Only 31 days of these should be successively, and the rest of the days could be fast randomly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So, is this kafara for a person who intentionally breaks his fasting or unknowingly? And also, like, do we have to pay all this kafara, like 3 options, or no, we can pick up one of them?
No, if someone breaks his fasting, not in a haram way, not for something which is forbidden. If someone actually breaks his fasting with not haram things, even intentionally, for him it is obligatory to pay one of these 3 options. Okay? Since nowadays we have no slave.
To
of
free.
Course, yeah, there's...
so there is no first option?
The first option is not possible to be performed because there is no slave nowadays.
Yeah.
That is why from the second option and the third option, he has to choose either to, for example, fast 2 months successively, or to feed 60 poor persons. One of them is enough. For what? For whom? For the one who breaks his fasting not with haram things.
Not with haram
intentionally,
things?
but not with haram things.
Great.
If someone breaks his fasting with haram things, like masturbation, for example, like, for example, drinking alcohol, like these sort of things which are haram, which are forbidden, in that case, he has to pay all the 3 options. Yeah, that is kafaratul jama'.
Kafaratul jama'.
No.
Okay, so Sheikh, what if someone breaks his fasting intentionally, okay, and also he can't feed any person, so he doesn't have anything to do. He can't also fast, okay, do the qadha one as a kafara, and also he cannot pay.
If someone is not able to, for example, to free any slave, he has to, or for example, he has to perform the other option.
Okay.
If he is not able even to fast, for example, 2 months successively, he has to, for example, feed like for example
60 Muslims,
poor persons.
Poor people, okay.
If he cannot do that, he's poor.
He can't do any of these options.
He can't afford any of those three options.
Okay.
Then of course he has to do as much as he could. You know,
So,
for example, even if he is not able to do anything except for asking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in Tawdih al-Masail in Risala of Maraja, if you refer, there's written that even this person can just ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he is really
can't afford any of those options.
Yeah, he is really unable to do any of these.
Sheikh, are there any cases for someone who breaks his fasting, invalidates his fasting, and he only has to do the qadha fasting, perform the qadha fasting, and there should be no kafara? Do you have any cases like this?
Yes, of course. There are cases in which if someone breaks his fasting, he has to perform only qadha fasting without any kafara. There's no need to pay any kafara. Like what? Like for example, if someone vomits even intentionally, for that case only qadha is enough. There's no need to pay any kafara. Yes,
none of those options.
No, none of those options. And if someone, for example, does not know that there is morning, for example, adhan subh or the fajr
has been announced time, or not yet?
The fajr prayer times started. He does not know. Really, he does not know, and he does something that invalidates his fasting. But later, he became aware that it was
already
after
morning.
The azan subh. Yes, he did something after the fajr prayer times. Yes, in that case, he can only perform qadha.
And that's
fasting,
enough.
And that day he has to fast, but later after the holy month of Ramadan, he has to perform qadha fasting.
Great.
Or for example, sometimes if someone tells you that you can eat and drink, adhan al-subh has not been made yet, and you trust him and invalidate your fasting because you eat and fast after the azan al-subh. But later you know that it was after the azan al-subh that I ate or drank something. In that case, of course, there's no need to pay kafara. You have just to do qadha fasting.
That's enough.
Yes. In this kind of cases, only qadha is enough. Kafara is no need.
What about the staying at the status of janaba, like after the fajr prayer, after the adhan has been announced? So someone is still at the status of janaba and he forgot to perform ghusl. Does it have the same case with
Yes,
this?
of course. It's also like that. If someone, for example, remain in the status of janaba after adhan al-subh, but does not know or forgot to perform ghusl. Later he knew that I had to perform ghusl of janaba before adhan al-subh. But he stayed or remained in the status of janaba while he fasting.
While fasting, yes.
So that's why in this kind of case, again, there's no need for him to pay kafara. Only qadha fasting is enough.
And that day he has to fast, continue fasting,
Of course,
Okay, and later on he has to perform the qadha fasting.
Exactly.
Sheikh, when it comes to qadha fasting, should someone perform the qadha fasting immediately after the holy month of Ramadan, or he can postpone it for later, for another days?
There's no need to immediately perform qadha fasting after the holy month of Ramadan. But sometimes it happens that, for example, we have only 10 days left to the next month of Ramadan. Month of Ramadan is coming. And we broke our fasting in the previous holy month of Ramadan. So we have some 10 days of qadha fasting. And we have only 10 days to the next holy month of Ramadan. Of course, in this kind of cases, we have to perform fasting before the holy month of Ramadan in that 10 days.
It should not remain.
So that's why it's better not to postpone it. Not to delay
it. You might forget it.
But of course, if you could not fast till the second holy month of Ramadan, then of course we have to pay kafara. But not that kafara that we mentioned. It is one mudd of ta'am, which is 750 gram of food. For each day we have to pay.
A normal food.
For example, if I have broken my fast in the previous months of the holy month of Ramadans, and I could not fast in this year, and the holy month of Ramadan, the next month of Ramadan is coming.
It's about a year.
So of course I cannot perform this qadha fasting. I have no time, for example. I forgot to do that. Anyway, so here I have to pay kafara, which is 750 grams of food for each day.
For each day.
Yeah, this is like a kafara that we should pay for this kind of qada fasting, and of course then we can do it after that holy month of Ramadan. But it's better to do before the second or before the next month of Ramadan.
For example, this holy month of Ramadan, I'm unable to perform fasting because I'm ill, for example. It has the same case, like after the holy month of Ramadan, I have to do the qada fasting.
If you can perform qada fasting till the next holy month of Ramadan, it's so much better.
Okay.
If you cannot do it, of course, if it would be postponed till the until the after next month of Ramadan, in that
the
case,
following
of course,
one.
yes, of course, you have to pay kafara, which is 1 mudd of ta'am, which is 750 grams of food.
Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah, we answered these very important questions. They were really important to our brothers and sisters. Inshallah, if you had any questions more on this, the same as today, you can ask us. Inshallah, we'll be here with you and answer. And Sheikh, if there is the last point you want to mention to our brothers and sisters.
Yes, there are sometimes differences among the Maraj's viewpoints or fatawas regarding these kind of cases that we mentioned. Sometimes there are some different viewpoints, different fatawas. The sisters and brothers should know that we mention only general points, which is in common between majority of the scholars and the ulama and marajah. But of course, there are sometimes differences
and specific details.
In specific details among the marajah. So they have to refer to their own marja' taqlid and to the risala of marja' taqlid and to their websites. Or if they cannot do, they can ask us. We can try to, inshallah, find the answers according to fatwa of that specific marja from their own risalats or the fatir or offices. We will ask, and then inshallah we'll answer the questions of our brothers and sisters.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Sheikh. Allah bless you, inshallah, and see you inshallah in the coming sessions.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for being with us. Alhamdulillah, we answered some of your questions today. We'll be here inshallah again with you to answer your questions. See you inshallah in the coming sessions. Please do not forget to support us by subscribing and sharing the videos with your friends and families, so that other Muslim brothers and sisters as well know and get the answers to these questions in case they have these questions. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.